In essence, the role of HR is to attract, retain, develop, and engage and excite the best and critical talent in service of the performance ambition. In order to do that, HR's best interest is to ensure that we dial up capacity, capability, and ensure that we have an HR operating module that serves the interest of the organization. Within the HR operating module, the role of HR business partnering that faces after the customer, building centers of expertise, and finally, a very capable and consistent HR National Operations Center is critical to drive value and support the business meet its ambition. Having said that, we've launched off the HR Operations Center a couple of months back, and I'm excited that the team together in a collaborative way of working and with the highest of vision have brought to birth a very strong process.
Although the best of the technology solutions had been implemented, the processes were largely manual, people dependent, and therefore prone to errors. Therefore, when we conceptualized the HR National Operations Center, what we said is that we should keep it simple, smart, and secure. What we mean by simple, we define processes which are uniform across the country for all employees, which fits in with the Lean Six Sigma kind of standards. Smart, which means that the employee is aware of what are these processes, where his forms are held up, what the status of his, whether it's reimbursement claim, recruitment request, anything that HR deals with. Secure, the data that gets used within the National Operations Center is safe. It is not used, not thrown away, because all these deal with personal information.
HR National Operations Center has been set up with the aim to consolidate all the HR operational processes across locations under a single umbrella called HR National Operations Center in Whitefield. National Operations Center leverages IT technology to increase efficiency, create visibility in processes, tracking and reporting of operational activities on a monthly basis. National Operations Center is also a single point of contact for all your employee queries related to payroll, income tax, leave, reimbursements, and etc. Employees can reach us using multiple means through Ask HR helpline and the Ask HR web tool. In a nutshell, we work on predetermined service level agreements and committed to deliver a world-class service to our employees.
It has been an experience working with USL in terms of transforming the HR functions National Operations Center, where we moved the processes from multiple locations to one location in Whitefield. We identified 45 tracks, and all these tracks were various processes which were moved to the National Operations Center. Before the processes were moved, we realized there are lots of challenges in terms of processing visibility, employee experience, etc., which was taken care once the processes were moved to the National Operations Center. Like for instance, the turnaround time, SLAs, the KPIs, the training the people to understand how they should be thinking about the employee differently, delivering to the processes. So that was a big change which was brought in the last 3 months of time. It's a record time. In the 3 months, we moved all these 45 trains to the Shared Services National Operations Center in Whitefield. The another area which also worked well with the National Operations Center project was the sponsorship from the leadership, and particularly the automation. The things like Ask HR, the employees can now reach out to National Operations Center through one window, one shop, where they can share their issues, they can raise their queries, they can raise their service requests, and all this will be resolved by the National Operations Center. So that's absolutely a significant movement which we see which has happened in the case of National Operations Center in the last 3 months of time.
The HR technology at United Spirits is user-friendly, simple and easy to use for employees, managers as well as for the HR. Many of the daily transactions can be easily done by the employee and the manager on the mobile app itself. Here we can see the mobile application where we can see the profile of the employee. We can see the organizational chart which visually shows the employee hierarchy. Approvals can be done on the mobile. So recruitments, transfers, leaves, all of the approvals can be completed. We can view the leave balances and apply for leave. see the current goals as well as the team goals, and see the dashboards configured on the system. I moved from Diageo, Bombay to Bangalore to USL. It was a big move for me and my family. My experience overall with the HR NOC was really good. I moved to a new city with limited experience in this town as well, but there was always, with the HR knock, there was always someone to talk to, and there was always someone available on the other end of the phone, whether it was getting my HR Petro card activated, whether it was getting a clarity on the policies, which were very new from Diageo to what USL had, whether it was relocation, which was a big move, moving the entire house and ourselves to Bangalore. The feedback I would give about the HRNOC was there was always someone there to give you an answer, and they had a solution to every problem which I always had in this journey. So I think it was a great help, and without the HRNOC, the move would have been really painful.
So the National Operations Center is a huge advantage that we are building in USL because it takes charge of all the transactional efforts which business partners today face in terms of talent acquisition, whether it is sourcing, whether it's the back-end processes of verification of medical checks, etc. So all of that is something that the HR NOC will manage now, leaving the partners enough bandwidth and time to engage with the candidates and to keep them warm and excited about joining the USL journey.
So in our research, whether the Aon Hewitt's best employers or the top companies for leaders have a very direct correlation between what HR provides, what an employee expects, and what the business truly wants to be delivering. The evolution of shared services, whether in HR, is actually no different from what you've essentially seen the evolution about 10 years back with many of the other staff functions. It all just started with a lot more of information management, progressing to automation of processes, and really where today it is essentially sitting, and I think that's the most relevant part for human resources to kind of hit hard, is to bring in that very unique and distinctive employee and manager experience whenever they are essentially looking at human resources. We've always been in the clutches of our procedures and policies and processes. With the advent of technology and the creation of shared services, you possibly have the flexibility to essentially provide something which makes most sense and continuously improve the relevance of human resources to people. So we hopefully with this would not have to go back to employees and say, my policy does not allow this, as opposed to saying at a click of a button, I can essentially make this enablement happen for you, because that's really what's critical for me as a business, and for you as an employee or a manager.
So in a span of 3 months, it has provided huge visibility to the employees, thereby improving and increasing the employee satisfaction and morale. The future plans are to benchmark these processes with the global HR processes, operation center processes, and ensure that we align those along with that as we move forward.
The next year, so we have staggered the whole waving of the execution. So the wave 1 was focused on some of the processes. The wave 2 is where we are now going to take to the next level of process improvement, the controls, the document flow, doing some more automation of the processes, eliminating the waste, the lean, etc. So that's the whole journey which we have planned for. And interestingly, all this has been captured under a business case, which is going to really support the overall objective of the HR function, HR leadership.
Through simple processes, we hope to make things that are otherwise complex easy to engage with, which embodies the tradition of our culture of Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, about being simple, smart, and yet safe and secure. By being smart, we engage and excite people to continue to delight themselves, and through safety we ensure that compliance, the delegation, and the empowerment exists. We have made the first seeds. The saplings are visible. We aim to be the mighty oak that we can be. I look forward to our continued building up this infrastructure, to my team to take this forward. And this is, of course, we have many miles to go before we sleep, but the journey has begun.